Hello and welcome to Back to the Boardroom. I'm Greer.
And I'm James.
And this week we're talking all about flowers. Now, I'm going to start off negative. I'm sorry, I know that's my usual thing, but I just thought this week's episode, maybe because I'm not a big flower person, it just wasn't my favourite.
To be honest, I enjoyed it, but
Well,
then
that's
again,
good. That's good.
then again, I'm the more positive side, right?
Very true. See, people have come to know what to expect from us on Back to the Boardroom.
Indeed. So this week, our candidates had to make a bunch of money from flowers. So they needed to create bouquets for the public and sell them at a market. And also they were given a corporate client who wanted a bespoke order for a given brief.
So I take it back a little bit, because actually we haven't really had something like this before. Maybe that's why I was thinking, it's not as good. But yeah, we haven't really had flowers, this sort of creativity before. So there are quite a few good top moments, a few good quotes as usual. I think my favourite, we've got to start off with this, because for weeks, and actually across all of the series that we've done, James, you always take a pot shot at Lord Sugar for not getting up in time for the challenges. And this week, he knocked on their door and they had to come out in their pyjamas.
He knocked on their door. Yeah, that was interesting. A twist for Series 20. Lord Sugar is up before, although I'm sure he'd argue he's always up before because he's a winner in business.
Absolutely. I just think that, Lord Sugar saying, get everyone outside. I actually expected everybody to perhaps put some different clothes on, but no, they went straight out to talk to Lord Sugar, Tim and Karen, and got cracking with the task, still in their pyjamas. Nobody's washed their face. It's not a top moment, but I just wrote, no time to brush their teeth, and loads of exclamation marks.
So you actually have quite a positive top moment. My one, less so positive, and I'm sorry, but Karen and Lord Sugar did also point this out, and this was unfortunately Megan's difficulty with some of the flowers. My best one being the hydrogens.
Yes.
instead of the hydrangeas. Sorry,
I love
Megan.
that. And I also had to write down foliage was another pronunciation issue that I enjoyed a lot. Foliage.
That one went past me. I didn't spot that. But yeah, it was not ideal, especially when you're saying hydrogens to clients, the public who want to buy your flowers. It's not one to instill confidence, but there we go.
Definitely not. I enjoyed learning a bit more about flowers. I don't know if they're the right people to learn off. I enjoyed Chico leaves just because it reminded me of Chico time. As you can tell, I'm not somebody that's into flowers, but that made me laugh. I enjoyed the discussions around what is too much filler to flower ratio. That was a bit of a science because it would push the budget into extortionate cost prices. But I also liked the idea that, as we talk about every week, when people want to be team leader or project manager, they give the weirdest reasons as to why they'd be the right candidates. And I've written down, I think it was Rothner that said, I've arranged flowers before. Great. I just thought that was funny. No extra detail, just she's arranged some before.
I did think before the episode started, I said there's going to be some reasons. I think I suggested that someone was going to say they want to be PM because they've received flowers.
Yes, you could totally hear that. It's believable.
Yeah. But turning it onto a positive, because I normally have to have a positive top moment, and it's still with the Rothner. I think she was actually a very good project manager. I think she struck a balance between trying to let others contribute, but she also had a vision. And when they pushed back, she was like, no, trust me, I know this will work. And, there was an air of confidence. It worked really well. So yeah, good for her.
A good team member. Somebody that I wanted to pick up on that you brought up last week was Connor. You said he was a great salesperson last week, and this week I actually thought he did pretty well. He was making a lot of bouquet sales. It did make me laugh how he was giving the spiel over the bouquet and why someone should buy it, and then he just said, would you like to proceed? Which I thought was a really funny way to try and sell some flowers.
I feel like that is something I would say.
It actually is. Now you've said that, I could hear it. The sort of panic of asking them for money would make you say, would you like to proceed with this bouquet?
Yeah, indeed. So I'm all for that. I'm all for that. And actually, my last top moment for me, again, is another positive one because I thought it was actually really good. And that was when it came to the corporate client, the 1,500 going up to 1,800 from some quick thinking of, you've got, I think there was 8 people or something, 8 people attending this event. Do you want 8 bouquets? And we'll put that in and up the price. And that worked a treat.
That was some pretty good business sense on The Apprentice for once. My last top moment is obviously going to be very different. It's Dan asking, wearing like I don't know what it was, a marigold hat or something, asking, can I just ask for a 50p tip just to make my day?
Was that Lawrence?
Huh? Was that Lawrence, not Dan? Oh, well, sorry, Dan. Lawrence then. But that made me actually squeal at the television. It's just so cringe.
It is, but I have to say Lawrence is so impressive with like asking for more money. He has no shame and, it works. Like, yes, they were he was on the losing team this time, but his market sales is pretty good.
That is true. I mean, I just have a lot of shame in life in general, so I can't even watch somebody asking for 50 pence. But yeah, I mean, we've come up with some good top moments. I think we've been pretty fair and pretty positive.
Yes. Actually, sorry, there was one more quote from the corporate client on the theatre side, and that was, "Can you talk me through what is high fashion about this?"
That was excellent. I think they went, well, that bit wasn't fed back, but bright colours. And now it's time for the most nerve-wracking part of the show, and I'm especially nervous this week because I know our elevator pitch challenge is going to do with flowers. So James, what have you and the independent adjudicator come up with this week?
Yes, if it's any solace, I am also not looking forward to this because I'm not very knowledgeable on the flower front. But yes, in case you don't know, the elevator pitch is where me and Greer are set a challenge to impress you, the listeners, and also Lord Sugar with a similar challenge to something that the Apprentice candidates might have to do. But all in under 60 seconds.
And it's difficult. It gives us a bit of stress on the podcast, which I know radiates into our listeners' ears every week, because you can tell I get very nervous at this part. What have we got to do this week? It's not name loads of different flowers, is it?
Do you know, that was a potential option, but
I'd have lost.
It is not what is happening. So this is the part where I feel Greer's face lights up. Even though she's nervous, it's just to see the 2 pieces of paper. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding them up because the independent adjudicator has put our task on these pieces of paper. So we don't know whose is whose. And Greer gets to pick. So I believe what I've been told is in these pieces of paper, there'll be a corporate client and some form of function they're doing. So similar to what happened earlier on The Apprentice, and we have to come up with a plan of what we're going to do.
A floral plan.
A floral plan.
Okay. Right. Oh, what do I want? I'm going to pick the one that is lower down.
Lower down, okay. It's always the angled one.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Okay.
So need to get my stopwatch at the ready. I am never prepared for this. So.
That is fine. It gives me a bit of extra time to panic while you get the timer up.
1 minute on the clock. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is the first time I've seen the layout of these. So you've got a brand and then a scenario.
Oh, okay.
So remember, you've got to plan floral arrangements, I guess, for the brand Gymshark. And the scenario, the new store opening.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Your 60 seconds starts now.
This is just mean. Flowers and gyms, two things that are very not me. I guess for a brand, you've got to recreate the logo in flowers. I guess bold, bright colours would be quite nice. The Gymshark clothes, I guess you can buy in a sort of bold, bright colours. Maybe some of their best-selling clothes might have similar flower colours that you could use, but I do think like a big logo perhaps right outside the front of the store or in the window would be really nice, welcoming customers in and just making it big, bold and bright. Maybe you could have some like twinkly lights or something in the flowers as well, just to keep it lit up at night, so people can see that Gymshark has come to a new location. But I think, yeah, bold and bright and things that are eye-catching, get people into the store. And yeah, I think their logo would be quite fun to recreate. It's quite a fun logo. So my idea is very short because of my lack of knowledge.
I thought that was quite good.
Thank you.
I like the logo flower wall idea.
Yes.
I wish
Simple,
I had that one.
but it could work.
And now I can't steal that.
Yeah, that's true. That is a good point about me going first. You have to be entirely original.
Yes.
So, James, I've got my 1 minute ready to go. Would you read out what is on your piece of paper? This is my moment to chill now.
My goodness.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got... I mean, it's not even a brand.
Excellent.
The brand is a local secondary school.
Ooh.
And the scenario is prom.
Oh, I love it. Okay, your time starts now.
Okay, so I think I'm going to go with... I don't think we're going to go with a wall. I think it's going to be more like borders of, because prom is normally in a hall or something like that. So you'll have a big hall. So I think we're going to border the hall with something a bit nice. I'm sort of getting like, I don't know why, this is kind of American, but I'm sort of getting like cheerleader, like, so... the pom-poms that the cheerleaders have, maybe we could create those in some sort of foliage dotted around. I also thought, I don't know, maybe it's because it's February, I thought Valentine's roses. So there's always a bit of, romance in prom. So maybe some rose bushes, maybe not bushes, rose arrangements darted around. I don't know what the pom-poms would be. Maybe hydrangeas, big bold colours around.
Time is up.
I don't think it would be a
You
very
did something
good
that
prom.
I didn't do. Name names of flowers. I didn't say. I literally did not say. I came up with lights. I didn't name one flower. I like that idea. I thought that was good. You want something at prom that is a little bit romantic because people are going to be asked out on for their prom dates, and good photo taking opportunities as well because people want to put it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Do you know what I'm thinking now? There should have been an arch.
Oh, that could have been good too.
It would have been an arch, right? Because people would have wanted that for the photos.
Very true. Well, I think they're both good ideas.
Yeah.
It's a hard challenge.
I think the only thing I would have changed if I had yours was because, I don't know, I would do a couple of logos in different colours.
That sounds good.
Obviously they have the sort of male orientated and female orientated different parts. Maybe you want, because they have, Gymshark women and stuff to promote female athletes. So maybe something, but yeah.
Yeah. As you can tell, I'm not into flowers and I've never been to Gymshark. So I feel like I could have done the secondary school prom better. Maybe I'll pick the other bit of paper. If I keep going the same one, next time I'm going to have to go the one that's not diagonal.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, please let us know what you thought of our elevator pictures this week. You can let us know on Instagram at Back to the Boardroom, or you can send us a WhatsApp message or voice note to 07379 171 890. And now it's time to go back to the boardroom. And this week we found out that there was quite a bit in it. on the profits. Team Alpha made a profit of £564 and Eclipse with 2,172. So there was a clear winner with Eclipse. Were you surprised by that?
Now, it's always easy to say in hindsight, and the edit did make it look closer than it was, but I said that Alpha had overspent at the point of choosing their flowers, because I think they noted it was £16 cost price, and I just thought, that is crazy. Like, where's the profits going to come from? And indeed, there was no profit, because they made a loss of £11.66 on the bouquet. So they only actually made any profit on the flower wall, which is crazy considering how bad it was.
It really is mad. I think the sort of creativity, you did have to balance it with being economical. And I do think Rotherna's team really had the balance there. I know Lord Sugar was a bit disparaging, made some silly joke about this is something Keir Starmer would buy for his wife for her birthday. I mean, it's still a nice bunch of flowers, I thought, and people like that style. Whereas the whole tropical vibe, they had to go for some more exotic flowers that did bump up the price. But I did like how Andrea was sticking up for Rotherna, saying that, I'd buy this and have it displayed in my house.
Yeah,
that was cute.
Definitely. Personally, I would go for the tropical flowers, but I thought both were good. And their arch was pretty nice. And even Baroness Brady gave that a compliment. And I think Alpha had a harder task with the opulent flower wall for Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
I think I would be absolutely rubbish with that, but unfortunately they fell completely flat. And to be honest, I thought £1,000. They got a great deal, as in Alpha did. They got £1,000 for something they didn't like and threw away straight afterwards.
I thought that was really good. I thought it was pretty generous. They were like, we're going to honour the time and the effort, which great, but I would have paid a lot less for that. The whole Devil Wears Prada thing, making it look opulent and high fashion, that's tough. That's a tough brief. Devil Wears Prada, weird. But they really didn't execute the devil horns. Someone could have just stood there and they could have made devil horns or something. It wouldn't have looked great, but at least it would have fulfilled what they had sort of asked for. Yeah, not good. I also didn't like how they threw stock away. I just thought that was pretty bad. I don't know. I got kind of sad that they just threw all those flowers away. And there was a lot of panicking as well. It seemed like the whole team were going a bit mad and no one was listening. Too many cooks spoil the broth or mess up the broth, as Karishma said early on. So it was an interesting one when Vanessa brought back in Pasha and Lawrence. I thought they were sort of wild cards, really, to bring back in. And Lord Sugar seemed to also agree and said that there was only one clear decision: Vanessa was going to have to go. And I agree with that, unfortunately. Sorry, Vanessa.
Yeah, I thought there were better options for people to bring back in. I mean, I know it's whatever we see in the edit, but I don't think I heard from Dan all episode.
No, and if Lord Sugar is interested in picking up the people who are being quiet, then at least Vanessa stuck her neck out and had ideas and got stuck in, but it was wrong and they weren't great, but she still did get involved. So yeah, interesting. I know it is in the edit, as you say, but week by week it does seem like different rules. I guess Lord Sugar just bases things on who he would believe would be good to work with, but yeah, interesting.
Yes, and it was interesting that I presume Eclipse made all their bouquets. They wanted 45 and they made all of them. However, Alpha wanted 60, made 20 in the end in the actual studio where they were making it, and ended up making actually more of them, 23 at the market. So out of a potential 60, they only made 43. Yeah, which was less than the other team.
Very true. I guess the strategy was the downfall there for everything this week for Vanessa and the team.
What did you think of Baroness Brady and Lord Sugar's jokes or jabs? Definitely at Kieran, you had the touch of an elephant, and you were like an airport baggage handler.
I mean, airport baggage handler's quite funny. Don't they have a pop at him like every week in the boardroom now? It just seems to be he's the butt of the joke.
To be fair, he was quite ruthless with a lot of those roses. Was it roses? Yeah. There was a lot of wastage.
Very true. Good spot. And another thing that I know you'll be looking out for this week is what Lord Sugar's secretary is doing. Does she still have that spreadsheet up?
She does indeed, but there are no charts this time. It's a plain old spreadsheet, and couldn't really ascertain much from the headings, so not much to report really.
Definitely online shopping and then just putting that spreadsheet up when the cameras come by.
Exactly. And in terms of brands, again, there was quite a few, but we were at a shopping centre, so I don't really think that counts. Although I did think I saw a Bic biro in what, because
very observant there,
they're
James.
quite distinctive. And also, I believe, I don't know if this was said in the show, but if not, I believe the shopping centre was Battersea Power Station.
It was. I wasn't sure if Battersea Power Station itself was a brand. They have made it into more of a brand now, haven't they? It's a full-on shopping destination. So, yeah, that would be my one brand watch. But they did tell us, so I wasn't as eagle-eyed as you.
And finally, another thing I noticed is we have yet another Losers Cafe. Maybe they're trying to really mix it up this season. So I believe it was called Sandy's Cafe. And it seemed to look a bit more upmarket than the other ones.
Maybe there was a little bit of budget left over from those treats. And they're
no
allowed
treats, but better coffee.
Exactly. They're allowed, something that's not instant coffee this time.
And now, for my favourite part of the podcast, as you all know, it's Apprentice News with Greer.
With me. You just love this part of the show because I have to go on trashy websites and it screws up my history, I guess. Or my ads.
I had to, reset my Instagram because everyone thought I needed a hair transplant.
Very true. That's what happens when you have to search up where are they now and they're both hair themed. But thankfully this week I haven't had to go on The Sun, which is always a great week. This comes from Metro. And if you are like me and you sit down to watch The Apprentice at 8, but you're watching Dragon's Den first, so you've got a double bill of business, this ties into both Dragon's Den and The Apprentice. Now, headline, Dragon's Den star found it liberating buying out Lord Alan Sugar before £20 million payday. And if you're a Dragon's Den fan, you may have noticed that something that they're doing that's new is having different dragons come as guests each time. And so this is about Susie Ma, and she went from selling homemade body scrubs at a market stall at the age of 15 to running the brand Tropic Skincare, and it has an annual turnover of 68 million, which is incredible. But she was also on The Apprentice with Lord Sugar. And so it's always good to know where the investment and the businesses sort of end up. I guess a bit of where are they now I'm tying in, but just, several years ago, where are they now? She was speaking to Metro and said that Lord Sugar and her never saw eye to eye as partners, and they reached an amicable decision a few years back, and it felt really liberating because he was an investor, but that's all he did. She said that he has invested his money in lots of different companies, but he didn't have the heart for my business, which is, I guess, a bit of a sad revelation. So something you might be interested in, because you do claim that Lord Sugar never wakes up. Susie actually says he didn't wake up in the morning and think moisturiser and should I help Susie develop it, or which ambassador should we use, which I thought was funny. She went on to say that he didn't care about any of that. He cared about the bottom line and how much dividends he could take from the business. And that doesn't really resonate with the founders or owners, and we never really saw eye to eye. So she fully regained the ownership back in 2023, buying back his shares, and she also paid herself 20 million in dividends, which, I mean, that's pretty healthy. That is great. Even if she thinks Lord Sugar doesn't wake up thinking about skincare and moisturiser, the investment did pretty well for her.
Yeah, doesn't, from how it's worded, it doesn't seem like there was much direction, just a cash injection. But either way, seems like a success story.
Definitely. She says she was the captain steering the ship by herself, and now it feels amazing not to run decisions past anybody else. But yeah, I thoroughly recommend watching the double bill of Dragon's Den and The Apprentice, because you get in the mood for Dragon's Den. You watch people that are doing pretty well coming in and pitching their ideas. You've got the dragons that are doing very, very well. And then we watch The Apprentice and see people screw up. It's a great combination. Well, there you go. A short bit of Apprentice news this week from me. But yeah, there you go. Some news that I would like to know, though, James, is we've been making predictions this whole time. How are we doing? Have I got any more right? And are you going to give me more than a half point?
So, a couple of things. Firstly, I have to admit, I have lost some predictions in multiple senses. A couple of predictions, I can't find where they went. So I have lost them, and I need to find them for a future episode.
Or you've got to listen back to the Boardroom.
Or I have to listen back to it ourselves. And some other predictions I've lost in the sense of I cannot win the prediction. So we will go through those. So the saddest loss is my prediction for the winner of The Apprentice was Vanessa. So... to me, that's not happening. Similarly, I predicted that week 5, which I believe is this week, was going to be a double firing, which it was not. I think probably helped by the fact that the wrong people were brought in, but nevertheless, I got it wrong. You're up for week 6, so apparently there's supposed to be a double firing next week, according to you. And otherwise, I think we are good on every other prediction. One I would like to highlight is the best salesperson prediction. I predicted Rajan, who's doing quite well, I think, in corporate negotiations. And you predicted Priyesh, which I don't think is having as much luck.
Not particularly. I wish we'd picked either Connor or Lawrence. We knew back then, because both of them are standout. But sadly, no. That's the fun of picking the predictions so early on.
Absolutely. But I won't go into too much more, because I'm sure we will touch upon them in future episodes and also find the ones that I have lost. I believe the ones that I've lost are the ones that we did blind, so before anything had started. But I've got some homework. And if you're interested, there were 7 hours this episode. A couple of duplicates, but 7 more. Which means I actually haven't run the numbers, but I think we're running to about 15, 16 distinct hours. So we're getting quite high already.
We are. So it's still all to play for, even if your winner has been knocked out this week.
It is indeed.
So that's episode 5 of The Apprentice. All done and dusted. Flowers we no longer have to talk about, thankfully, because as we can tell from this episode, I don't know anything about them. But next week we're heading all the way to Egypt for another abroad task. The official logline says the candidates head to Egypt to put on a corporate away day. One team heads to the desert but ends up having a bumpy ride, and the rest run a lagoon tour, which is anything but relaxing. So we know it's going to be a good one. James, do you have a final thought for us this week?
Yes, we always love these corporate away day ones, and I'm hoping that someone comes up with a pyramid scheme It's not likely to happen, but...
Oh, excellent. It's going to be a great episode next week. And don't forget, you can get in contact with us via WhatsApp and on Instagram at Back to the Boardroom. And we'll be back here, same time next week. See you then.
Bye.